You know that feeling when you're in a packed concert or a bustling street and you just want to hit the brakes while the world speeds up around you? For a lot of us, that's not excitement, it's a threat. Your heart starts racing, you feel totally overwhelmed, and all you want to do is get out. But what if that feeling isn't some kind of personal failing? Well, let's dive in. Because neuroscience has a pretty fascinating explanation for why your brain can treat a crowd like a full-blown crisis.
Right off the bat, we need to reframe this. That feeling of panic, it isn't just anxiety. Think of it more like a biological process. It's your brain's circuits literally getting swamped by a flood of data, being forced to process way faster than they're comfortable with. This isn't about being weak, it's just neurological reality. And you're about to see just how many people deal with this.
Just look at that number. Seriously, 1 in 4.
That's right, a full quarter of the entire population. So if this sounds like you are so far from being an outlier. This is a shared human experience, something that's hardwired into a huge chunk of us. It's not some strange personal quirk, it's just a fundamental part of who some of us are.
So what is actually happening inside your head when that feeling of overwhelm hits? Well, it really boils down to two major pressures. First, the insane amount of sensory data your brain is trying to sort through, and second, the constant invasion of your personal space.
It all starts with something called sensory processing sensitivity. The easiest way to think about it is this. Some brains are just wired to take in more of the world. They don't have the same aggressive filter for what's irrelevant, which means they're processing a much richer and much more demanding stream of information all the time.
And this slide really nails the difference. In a crowd, a typical brain just filters out the chaos, right? It tunes out all the background noise. But a sensitive brain, it absorbs everything. You're not just hearing a buzz, your brain is literally trying to process 50 different conversations at the exact same time. The result isn't just feeling anxious, it's pure cognitive exhaustion. Your brain is drowning in data, it just can't sort through fast enough. Now, on top of that sensory flood, there's another, much more primal system kicking in. Neuroscientists have found these incredible cells called peripersonal space neurons. Just think of them as the silent alarm for your personal bubble. When somebody gets too close, these neurons fire off, sending an emergency signal straight to your amygdala, your brain's ancient threat detector. And here's where it all connects. In a crowd, people are constantly breaking that bubble, from every direction. This means those little alarms aren't just ringing every now and then, they are blaring non-stop. Your brain isn't just imagining a threat, it's neurologically registering hundreds of tiny, simultaneous boundary violations. It's absolutely no wonder your whole body goes into high alert. But it's not just about sensory overload and your personal space. There's this other huge psychological factor going on, and it all comes down to our deep, deep need for control. I mean, think about this for a second. Why is a completely packed movie theater usually fine, but a chaotic street festival can be an absolute nightmare? The number of people might be exactly the same, but the feeling is worlds apart. What's the deal with that? The difference, really, is control. In a theater, you have autonomy. You've got your own seat. The whole experience is predictable. And maybe most importantly, you control your own pace. You can just sit still. But in a festival crowd, you lose all of that. You're just swept along, totally unable to set your own speed. Your pace is dictated by the chaotic, unpredictable rhythm of thousands of other people. This feeling of being pushed around actually has a name. It's called reactance. It's that gut-level instinctual resistance we all have to our freedom being taken away. For many of us, this is exactly why a crowd feels so psychologically suffocating. It literally strips away our ability to choose our own path and our own pace. Okay, so if this is all basically hardwired into your brain, what can you actually do about it? Well, the good news is you are not helpless. There are real, practical strategies you can use to navigate a world that, let's face it, isn't going to stop being crowded. Let's look at how you can find your own pace.
And this part is so important. The goal here is not to force yourself to become a person who loves crowds. It's not about just gritting your teeth and pushing through something that your nervous system is screaming at you to run away from. It's about finding a balance. It's about managing the aversion so it doesn't run your life, while also deeply respecting your genuine need for space, for quiet, and for a pace that feels right for you. So let's break down 4 simple but honestly super powerful strategies. First, be strategic with your timing. Go to the grocery store or travel during off-peak hours when the world is just moving a little slower. Second, manage your sensory input. Noise-canceling headphones or even just a pair of sunglasses can be a total game changer. Third, Reframe your thinking. In the moment, actively tell yourself, this is uncomfortable, but I am not in danger. And finally, always plan your escape. Just knowing where the exits are can massively reduce that awful feeling of being trapped.
Now, it is really crucial to know the difference between a preference and a problem. If you strategically avoid crowds, but you're still living a full, happy life, that's just a healthy preference. That's a choice you're making. But if that avoidance means you're turning down job offers or skipping a friend's wedding, then your life choices are being made for you by fear. And that's when it might be a good idea to seek some professional support.
So let's end on this thought, okay? Your aversion to crowds is not a character flaw. It's a feature of your unique neurology. In a world that is always celebrating noise and speed and chaos, honoring your need for quiet, for space, and for a slower pace isn't a weakness. It's a sign of profound self-awareness. You're not broken. You're just wired differently.